Russian troops are reportedly lasting only minutes in some of the most dangerous areas of the Ukraine front line. And one number is now shocking everyone: 35 minutes. That is the claim being discussed in war coverage and battlefield reports. It should not be treated as a confirmed number for the entire war, but if it reflects even part of what is happening in certain frontline zones, then it reveals something terrifying. Russia may be pushing soldiers into a battlefield where survival is no longer measured in days. It may be measured in minutes. The reason this matters is not only the number itself. The real story is what this number suggests about the war. Drones are everywhere. Artillery is waiting. Mines are blocking movement. And Ukrainian surveillance can spot Russian assault groups before they even reach their target. This is not the old image of war where soldiers only feared what they could see in front of them. Now, danger can come from above. A small drone can watch a road. Another drone can follow a vehicle. Artillery can hit a position seconds after coordinates are passed. And a soldier may never know he has already been seen. That is why this frontline claim is getting attention. It creates a brutal question for Moscow. Why does Russia keep sending men forward if the battlefield is becoming this deadly? Russia's strategy appears to be built around constant pressure. Moscow wants to keep Ukraine stretched, tired, and forced to defend many areas at once. Even small gains can be used by Russian media as proof that Putin's army is still moving forward. But there is a dark side to this strategy. Every small gain may come at a huge cost. A ruined village, a damaged tree line, a narrow road, a few meters of territory. On a map, it may look like progress, but on the ground, it may mean waves of soldiers being exposed to drones, artillery, and mines. And this is where Putin faces a dangerous choice. If Russia slows down, it may look weak. If Russia keeps attacking, the losses may grow. If Russia escalates, the whole war could become even more dangerous. That may explain why Russia is also increasing missile and drone pressure on Ukrainian cities. Moscow wants to show that it still has power, that it can still strike deep, and that Ukraine cannot feel safe anywhere. But Ukraine is trying to send a different message. Kyiv wants to show that Russia's pressure has a price. Ukraine does not always need to retake huge amounts of land to hurt Russia. Sometimes the goal is to make every Russian attack more expensive than the last one. Drones can target supply routes. Artillery can hit assault groups. Long-range strikes can damage oil refineries, logistics hubs, and fuel networks inside Russia. And when Russia loses fuel, vehicles, ammunition, or command posts, the pressure does not stay on the front line only. It moves inside Russia itself. That is why this moment is so important. This is no longer just a frontline battle. It is a battle of pressure. Russia is pressuring Ukraine with missiles, drones, and ground attacks. Ukraine is pressuring Russia with drones, deep strikes, and battlefield traps. And both sides are trying to prove one thing: the other side is closer to breaking. The 35 minutes claim is powerful because it cuts through all the official statements. It makes people imagine what Russian soldiers may be facing when they are sent into exposed assault zones. Even if the exact number is disputed, the message behind it is clear. The front line is becoming more lethal. Russian assault tactics may be under serious strain, and Putin may be forced to decide whether to change tactics, deny the problem, or push even harder. There are 3 things to watch now. First, watch whether Russia changes its battlefield approach. If commanders begin using smaller units, more drones, more night attacks, or heavier artillery support, it may mean Ukrainian defenses are forcing adaptation. Second, watch Russian messaging. If Moscow insists everything is under control while Russian pro-war voices keep warning about losses, that gap could become politically dangerous. Third, watch escalation. If the Kremlin feels embarrassed or pressured, it may answer with more missile and drone attacks on Ukraine. That does not mean escalation is guaranteed, but in this war, pressure often leads to retaliation. So the real question is not only whether Russian troops are surviving 35 minutes in some frontline zones. The real question is this: if the battlefield has become this deadly, how long can Putin keep sending soldiers into it? Because every Russian attack now carries 2 costs. The cost on the battlefield and the cost inside Russia, where fuel shortages, losses, and frustration may become harder to hide. This war is moving fast, and the next Russian response may reveal whether Moscow is still confident or quietly panicking.